G'day. I've had an interesting question from a viewer regarding the video I made on this remote control. A viewer over at Craggle RC, great channel by the way, my fellow enthusiast is using the same controller and asked a question about the controller dropping connections, which was an interesting question because I've had a bit of an experience in the past where I felt like I might have lost the connection to some of my remote control cars or whatever, and I just attributed that most likely to user error. But hearing that somebody else has perhaps had a similar problem with this same remote controller got me to thinking. I'm going to go through and test all of the connections. If you're watching Craggle, maybe together we can work out what's been happening here. Anyway, so I've got my remote control car lineup, the ones that are actually connected to this remote. If there's anyone else out there that's using this transmitter and would like to comment, I'm sure that both myself and Craggle and anyone else that's using them will be very interested to hear about your experiences. Anyway, to begin with, I'm just going to power on the transmitter and I'm just going to click through the model selection menu. Alright, so to select models, what I do is go down to this model thing here, click that in, and then I can go down there to the number. The first one here is my, what I call my heartbreaker. Number 2 is the Typhon over there. Then I've got the Shelf Queen. That's a power limited setup that I've got for the Typhon so that I could give it to my kids to play with without them having the full 90 km/h capability. Then I've got the Mighty Astra. Then I've got the K-Basher, which is my hybrid builds that are built out of junk. And lastly, I've got my XY GTHO. This is the heartbreaker, and as you can see there, I'm using the 314 SB receiver. So I'm just going to power that on now. You can see that there's a red light on the receiver. I'm just going to go over here and power on the transmitter. Okay, and I can see straight away the green light has come on and I could hear the servos jitter into position. But yeah, you can see there the connection is A-OK. It's been a good 8 to 12 weeks since I powered up this car. Model number 2 is the Typhon. Now the receiver for the Typhon is actually squirreled away in this little waterproof box down here. I don't fancy opening that up today. What I do have on the receiver there is a red flashing light that indicates that it's not connected. I've already got the Typhon selected in the remote, so I'm just going to power that on, and you can see straight away my blinking red LED on the ESC has gone out. And yes, the servo still looks stuffed from when I last drove this. Alrighty-o, so what's next? The Shelf Queen. Okay, now this one is interesting because this one doesn't have an ID number listed on the screen here. Here we are with the battery connected. This car has the R203GF receiver in it, and I've powered that on. So far there's nothing, no red light. I've double checked my connections. I'm just going to switch this one on again because the connections were fine. I couldn't find anything wrong. Okay, so there you can see the light did flash green a few times, and now the light is off and I've got no response over here on the controller. I'm just going to cycle the power of the remote off and the receiver off. I'll turn the receiver on first, then the transmitter. Now the device is happy. You can see there I've got full connection. Seems to be that I just needed to turn the receiver on first. Let's just confirm that now. I'm going to turn the transmitter on first. I'm going to come back and turn on the receiver. Yeah, so it's working this time. Honestly, I couldn't tell you why there would be a difference from the first time to the last. When I go back to the model menu, let's see if there is a number. No, there's still not a ID number. Perhaps this is because this is a different receiver. All of the other receivers I've had so far have been 3 series. If that means something or not, I'm not sure. Okay, the next is the Mighty Astra. Let's take a look at that. This one is a little hard to see into, but I can confirm that is a 334 SBS receiver. I'll just plug that in now. Okay, switch it on. Inside, I can see once again there's a red light on. The unit has been powered on. I've selected the model. I've got no response. I'll just power off the transmitter. The receiver is still on, still red. I'll power this back on again. Okay, I heard the servo jitter just then. I'm quite sure this is going to work now. Which it is. All right, on to the next one. Next on the list is what I call the old K-basher. This is a R314 SB. So this is a slightly different receiver again, and I haven't used this car well over 12 months. I think the idea of building this car was that I'd have a nitro buggy that I could take out and bash. Then I built the GT Falcon over there, which I think took place as my basher. Anyway, I digress. I'll switch this on and power on the remote over here. Didn't sound like anything. Let's have another look in there. Okay, I've got a green light, so I'll say that's all connected. Yep, no problems reconnecting there. And this is a car which I haven't turned on for well over 12 months. This car is using a 334 SBS as well. So I'm just going to switch this on. I've got a red light on the receiver. I'm still connected to my K-basher, which I haven't even turned off. Over in the background here. Red light still. Let me just power this off and on again. It sounds like it's making the right noise. Green light's on in the bottom. And yes, my one steerable wheel is working. Once again, another car that I've crashed and broken, haven't yet fixed. Without a doubt, I think this is my fastest remote control car and most ridiculous, but that is for another day. That's it. Craggle and anybody else that was interested in Craggle's question, I've been unable to replicate the problem that you've explained today. I do feel like I've encountered a similar problem to what you've described in the past though. What I have learned today is that I need to turn the receiver on before the transmitter. And this was something I wasn't really aware of, and I've just cycled through 6 models, turning them on and off again and reconnecting, and found that to be the standout thing. I imagine, Craggle, since you've got 30 RC cars, that is probably something that is well and truly considered already by you. If not, have you tried turning the receivers on before the transmitter? Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. Thanks for watching, and remember to smile.